Hi, Paul. Nice to meet you. Thank you for
Hi,
talking
Destiny.
with me.
Thank you. Thanks, Destiny. I appreciate it.
Of course. So what sparked the idea for Scared to Death for you?
Oh, well, about 20 years ago, I bought a house in Hollywood that was originally owned and built by Charlie Chaplin. It's an old craftsman from 1911, and it was for sale by owner. And the day before I moved in, when I got the keys, he told us the house was haunted. And I said, "Well, don't you have to disclose that before?" And anyway, we ended up moving in the house, and I, I'm from Scotland with witches and warlocks and the whole thing. I've never seen a ghost, so I was a non-believer. And but my wife and the kids, they all saw ghosts all the time. They would see it all the time, and I would never see anything. So I'd go out in the bathroom in the middle of the night and be looking in the mirror, thinking I'm going to see something. I'm going to see something, and then I kind of determined that believing is seeing. Not that I don't believe things exist, but I think I believe in interdimensionality and all that. But for me, that became the thing of you know, believing is seeing. So the root of the film came from there because, Champ in the movie goes, it's not the eyes that see, it's the brain. It started there and
Yeah,
then became a film about a film crew. They say, write about what you know. I know that paradigm of, film crews and teams. So it just seemed like the perfect setup for the comedy.
definitely. That is actually a really great lead in to with this film. You know, so the believing is seen that kind of played into this with the way it was shot and the way they experienced everything in the film. It's more you see that more than the implied horror. Do you find that that works better, especially for your audience?
I think so because I wasn't trying to make like the scariest movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Or the funniest. I was trying to walk this line of absurdity and silliness and kind of, and the dance with Lin because, for me, I'm there's something about Mary and Kingpin. I wanted to lean into that rather than Insidious, lean into
yeah,
her power as a comedic actress. And because originally she was going to play Felix's role, and they both switched, and she ended up saying, "No, I want to be the boss. I want to get my teeth in." And then allowed her to write dialogue and kind of really become more involved, which was a blessing in disguise, But it shifted the film more into
yeah,
comedy, which I think made more sense because there was always the black humor in there. There was always the dark comedy aspect, but when that happened and then I cast the grog, it kind of took everything more general, which I think it in the end helped the movie.
yeah. It's a great film, by the way. I very much
Oh,
enjoyed
thank
it.
you.
I loved the perfect line that you wrote between comedy and horror. It was great.
Mm.
It
Oh,
still has
thank you.
those fun jump scares, but you get that
Mm.
chuckle.
Yeah.
Beneath those scenes though, was there kind of a deeper theme that you were exploring with the film?
Well, yeah, I mean, definitely believing is seeing, the idea of it being temporal in your brain of, how you experience ghosts or whatever. It was really that. And this bunch of opportunists, how if you're an opportunist, you're shot down, the idea of Jasper being this kind of, so hungry to make it that he
Yeah.
opens up this pit of hell, opens up this portal to them all experiencing this nightmare. And in the end, he benefits from it. So some people have said, well, did he set the whole thing up? Example, was Lynn a kid at the orphanage? Was Bill's character really Amos? I didn't, all those bows were neatly tied and I untied them because I just wanted to leave it more open for interpretation
Yeah.
and to let the audience figure it out. But no, I think it was really the challenge was really about how to balance the comedy and the scares. And how to do that was really because it started off as kind of straight horror, before
Yeah.
we cast it. And then when I cast it, it evolved and it became this ball of clay that as the movie, they say there's three movies, the one you write, the one you shoot, and the one you end up with.
Yeah.
It was kind of like that with this. I kind of let it evolve and kind of leaned into it and trusted the actors and so that's how it kind of changed.
Well, that's great. That's I was gonna ask if you did a lot of heavy storyboarding or if you left some room for discovery on set. Sounds like you left a lot of room for discovery on set.
I did. I storyboarded every single shot too, because I mean, I come from, but I also shoot a lot of my own stuff. I have for years, so I go into a film prepped by doing all the storyboards in detail. hand drawn. I had two books, 100 pages in each book, but they never came out on the shoot. Unless I got stuck and a scene was being scrapped, I'd have to find a transition into it. Then I would go into the book and go. But the thing, just the process of doing the book means that I've embedded the story in my head, and then
Yeah.
getting on the set allows for spontaneity and improvisation. Who was it? Werner Herzog said, "Storyboards are for cowards," which I
You know?
fucking love. I just love that quote. But look, to me, it's problem solving, right? And film is all about that.
Yeah.
Anything can happen at any moment during the day. To me, directing is like, you've got 20 minutes, the sun's going down, you've got three shots to get, the actor won't come out of the RV. That's directing more than setting the light and getting the tone. It's how do you deal with these constant issues and problems that arise? It's really like risk management.
Yeah. Oh, I imagine.
Yeah.
Um, for your actors, like everything felt very authentic in this film. How do you help direct them through those like intense scenes without, to feel authentic without overplaying it?
Right. Well, I think you have to let the actors do what they do and then pull it back or push it further. And I
Yeah.
found on this that because we did rehearsals a little bit, and I had extensive conversations with the actors and did a read through and all, so they all kind of knew where to
Yeah.
go. But also, I think with experienced actors, they don't really need much if they know the character. They don't really need much guidance if you've had that much experience and you agree on the
Yeah.
character. You've got to let the actors run with it. And some of the younger actors in the film, I think everyone was talented. They didn't take much physical direction. It was more to do with the tone of the comedy. Okay, that was too much. Let's pull it back a little, you know, be a little more, it was more the nuance than
Yeah.
give it to me like this. It was more the looks in people's faces and because that is something I understand is the paradigm of a group of filmmakers, write about what you
Yeah.
know. I know that. I know those personalities. So that was easy to write. And also because everyone involved in the film was in the film business too, they also knew the role of the PA, the role of the lead actress. They knew the dynamic. It was pretty clearly set. And then you let the actors do what they do rather than tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what
Were
I
there,
mean?
yeah, was
Empower them to kind of take the character where they want to take it. It's
most
kind of how I work.
definitely.
Yeah.
Was there anything that, your cast kind of brought to these roles that may have kind of surprised you even about the character?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they all do that, right? Because you have an idea in your head on the page of what you think it's going to be, and then they bring it to life. So they all brought so much to it. Jasper, I mean, he's the kind of the newest actor in the bunch. He just was that kid. Do you know, I mean, that's the other thing. You can talk about typecasting. It's true. I mean, you find for me as a director, writer, I want to find the actor or the personality that most fits
Yeah,
my character rather than go, well, I need a guy that looks like this. I want someone that represents the soul of the character. And that's the thing, as you get into bigger movies and bigger actors, you're taking names and trying to make them fit a character. Whereas with the young actors, no one really knows them that much. So they can just go wild with it and lean into it as
they
much as
can
they
still kind
want.
of be anybody.
They can be anybody. And that, I mean, that's the thing for me. A lot of people, a lot of times I work with actors who are non-actors. I don't think you have to be a qualified actor to act. If you, look at Ken Loach. I mean, if you're the person that I see in the story, then you just be who you are.
Yeah,
Like for example, the Grog. He is Kurt Deimer, who played the Grog, is the Grog. That's not character. That's his clothes. That's him. That's how he is. This lovable. He ended up, financing the movie. He's the executive producer. He It was as much a vehicle for him and trying to, the whole concept of, oh, this reminds me of a movie. He became the heart. He became the heart of the film. He's done
yeah,
200 movies, but he loves the film business, and he's the most naive, but at the same time, the most honest of them all, because he's still kind of enamored by what filmmaking is, which is what I am. I've been doing it my whole life. I still feel that I'm lucky to be doing it, and that, you know what I mean. So I
Yeah,
wanted some of that in there too. I wanted the naivety of the grog and the opportunism of Jasper to be things that people
definitely.
look down upon that actually help them as characters.
Definitely. And I feel that reads very well. Like I said, like all of the characters, they all feel so authentic. The moments feel very authentic. And
Mhm.
that really sells a movie to me. If I feel like I'm watching something and I'm like,
Mhm.
no, this really happened. That really sells it. You gotta believe it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Thank
And that's
you.
the dance, right? Because movies are so polarizing. So one person
Yeah.
can love a movie. I mean, you can have a couple, right? And who love each other together, and one person hates the film and the other person love. Movies are so polarizing that
Yeah.
that it's so hard to think, well, I'm going to please everybody. You can't. It's Bob Marley, right? You can please some people sometime. You can't please all the people. I really believe that.
Exactly.
So I don't worry too much about that or how people are going. I mean, of course you do because you're making it for an audience, but I'm making it for me. Like, if it doesn't appeal to me,
Yeah.
then I've missed the mark. And you just kind of hope that other people are going to get it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's really all you can, right? Because how many amazing movies have you seen that haven't crossed over?
Yeah.
And then you see
Very true.
absolute garbage that does cross over. So, I'm just thankful that people are responding positively to it.
Oh, I definitely, and I think it with this theatrical release, I think it'll get even more recognition. I think it'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
As you know, at directing, was there a scene for you that was like more challenging to pull off for this film?
Um, I think the most challenging thing is when you get five actors together around a table in a room. I thought that was going to be easy. I'm like, I was get five actors. They're just all sitting down. No, the coverage, crossing, getting all the coverages and all the eye lines. I realized how difficult it was and why most films, most scenes are just a couple of people, you know, even a courtroom scene, you got a crowd and you got one person. With this, it was five people constantly. So it was technically very challenging because I wanted to make sure I was covered for
Yeah,
on for every shot. So the process was it took a long time, but we had three cameras shooting all the time. I mean, can you imagine? It
that's
was
crazy.
almost sometimes it was filmed almost like TV, the way that we had to
Yeah,
film in order to get it done. But we ended up using master shots for most of it. So yeah, I mean, it was, I've been doing it so long ever since I was a kid that the process of making the film physically is the most fun part for me.
yeah,
Even and when it becomes super challenging and hard and you have to figure stuff out is when it's most exciting. But for me,
yeah.
when Lynn was doing it and just losing her wig, and that was the most enjoyable because it's like, is she really going to go there? Like, will she take it to the limit? And
Mm.
the good thing about Lynn is she doesn't need much encouragement. Like she is can so naturally just become this person and she wanted to play that role. That was a beautiful thing about it, is that when she read the script, she stepped up rather than going, yeah, I'll just play this other role. She got her teeth into it,
I
wrote
love that.
most of her own dialogue. She would write,
Very
I'd give her the scene as where the dialogue exists, and she'd go and replace the dialogue, and then I'd go in and have to like tame it down. I'd have to sometimes. Damn, because she really
she's something.
and she
Well,
was in a film we did before called We're Gathered Here Today, which was a COVID drama. She was just in my
mhm,
new film Relapse. So we've developed a great relationship and I just love her. She's just so great.
love that. Such such a great cast, such a great film. If you could use only three words to describe this film, which three would you pick?
Oh, goodness. Silly, scary, and thought and mindful.
I love it. Well, Paul, thank you so much. I am so excited for everyone else to get to see this film, and it comes out on February or March the 13th on Friday.
Friday
Everybody
the
go check it
13th.
out in theaters. What
Well,
a great
thanks.
day for it to come out.
I know we got lucky with that. Well, thanks, Stephanie. I appreciate your
Thank you so
input.
much.
Thank